Okay, good evening, everybody. I just wanted to post this video, and then I'm going to post another video after this with a tutorial on how to utilize the APA references within Canvas, within the course, on how you can become a better writer. All right, so just a couple of things. A common theme about 50% of the class is I'm seeing in your papers, and your people are sending me already paper 5. 2 people have sent me paper 5. And I'm seeing, all I have to do is glance at it, and I can quickly tell you. I just have to, click in the document. I know exactly what Times New Roman size 12 font looks like. I know what it looks like in a header. I know what it looks like in a paragraph. I can immediately tell if it's in the wrong. The font is wrong. The size is wrong. I can immediately tell if the level headings are missing. I can see if you have an abstract page. I can see if your first page header is different from your second page header, which I'll explain in the tutorial right after this and this video I'm making briefly for you. I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes. Then I'm going to look for, the title of the paper. Is the title of the paper there? Then I'm going to look for, all right, when I do the title, I'm going to look for an introductory paragraph. So that's information regarding what the paper is going to talk about. So you're inviting your reader into your article that you've written. So you need to invite me into your reading, and you need to state a thesis statement and what you'll be covering. So thesis followed by my main topics throughout the paper. I expect to see level headings, and we're going to look at that in the tutorial. I expect to see level headings throughout a paper. I don't care if it is a main level, a section heading, a level 1 heading, a level 2 heading, a level 3 heading. You're typically not going to use level 2 and 3 headings, or even 4 and 5, unless you're writing a research paper. I mean, I'm being realistic. Within your papers within this course, I'm going to see, a section heading. I'm going to see a title of the paper. Then I'm going to see a section heading, and then maybe a level 1 heading, which is a subsection of my section heading. So if I have a main topic and there's a little bit more I want to explain about that main topic, I'm going to explain that in a level 1 header. Okay? And I'm going to expect to see that same format throughout the paper. And then I come to my conclusion. I'm going to automatically look for a conclusion. I can quickly glance over and see if there's an adequate conclusion. Do I know if they've answered everything? If I quick look at the introductory paragraph and quick look at the conclusion, I'm tying up all the loose ends within my paper. I'm going to reiterate my thesis statement, and I'm going to mention, why. In other words, if I've looked up information, you're going to tie up all the loose ends within the paper. In other words, any questions that a reader may have in reference to all of your sections within your paper, you're going to, in other words, in the conclusion, tie the entire paper together. Okay? So within that document, when I'm reading it, there cannot be any questions in my mind when I'm reading that paper. All right? Number one, I do not expect perfection in this class. Okay? Writing is an art. All right, it is something that you master. It is going to take time to learn. I've been published in many different journal articles. I've written many papers in undergrad, grad and post grad school. So, and guess what? I get the same Word document back like you guys do with all these comments. I'll have a ton of comments, and I'm thinking, okay, fine, this is an opportunity for me to learn. And I think, okay, what am I going to learn? Most times the editors are asking me, we need you to add a little bit more detail in the sentence to explain further what the information you're presenting within the paragraph, or maybe even in the sentence. They're asking me to add more detail because it may leave a question in the reader's mind. So that's what you have to constantly be asking yourselves when you're writing a paper is, I can't leave a question in my reader's mind. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to read this from a paper. Okay? You're going to automatically have questions in your mind. I'm just going to read one of the sentences here. It says, blood gas sampling via intermittent site puncture is a common invasive manner in which carbon dioxide analysis may be achieved. Number one question. So I'm expecting to see this in subsequent sentences. Blood sampling via intermittent site puncture. You can put that in, I don't care if you put it in brackets or parentheses. What is intermittent site puncture? You can explain it right in that sentence. You can explain it in the sentence after that. I'm thinking automatically in my mind, what is an intermittent site puncture? As a respiratory therapist by trade, I know what you mean. But if a CVT person reads this, a CVT person did not write this paper. It was a respiratory therapist who wrote this. A CVT person, they're very familiar with sites and punctures. I do realize that, but they may not understand what you're writing here. Think of if a registered nurse read this. Would they know what you're talking about, or would a nursing student who's reading your paper understand what you're writing? Or if you go to the writing lab, I did put the writing lab contact information, which I highly recommend to the 50% of the class who didn't do so well. That means not 50% failed, but a lot of people didn't do well in this paper. But I'm trying to push you to write better, okay? I'm being fair. Trust me, I'm being more than fair with these grades. But you can't leave a question in your reader's mind. Now back to that sentence. So intermittent site puncture needs to be explained. Is a common invasive manner, okay, I know what a common manner is, I know what an invasive manner is, okay, I understand that, in which carbon dioxide analysis may be achieved. Number one. Number two is, what I recommended to this student is you must define what you mean by, rewind. It says which carbon dioxide analysis may be achieved, okay? So a common invasive manner, I'm expecting, okay, so it says in which carbon dioxide analysis may be achieved. What do you mean by that? All right, do I know as a respiratory therapist what that means? But your reader is not going to understand that depending on who your audience is. You have to think of your audience. Who am I writing to? Another one. Sentence starts off like this. Demand-based site punctures are appropriate for a relatively infrequent need for blood gas analyzation. Number one, as a reader, I may not be familiar with this, you don't know that. Demand-based site punctures. I'm thinking, number one, what is a demand-based site puncture? Okay, do I as a respiratory therapist have an idea of what that means? Yeah. But I don't know what you're referring to here, and there should be subsequent sentences after that in reference to what you're talking about. Also, in the latter half of the sentence, it says blood gas analyzation. I know what you mean by blood gases. I know you're looking at pH, CO2, PO2, bicarb. I know if it's end-tidal monitoring, we're looking at a non-invasive method. So blood gas analyzation, okay, explain to me, are we talking about in this sentence, are we talking about an invasive type of blood gas sampling, and what are we looking for? And are we talking about non-invasive? And then what are you referring to if it's invasive versus non-invasive? So this video could go on and on, but I need everybody to write in a manner in which answers their readers' questions. It is my job. Think of me as your personal editor. Okay, it is my job to go in there and help you point out to where there's going to be questions in the reader's mind, or where there would potentially be questions in the reader's mind. So these are just some of the highlights. I just wanted to bring out concerns I've had reading some of the emails and communications sent to me. Also, tutor.com. If you've used tutor.com, a student said that they use tutor.com. If you use it, I need the file attached to the submission so I can see that you've utilized it, because they send the document back to you and I need that document so it's proof that you went to tutor.com. If you've used tutor.com, and a lot of times depending on who you get on tutor.com, it may not be the best editor. So it just depends on who you get on tutor.com. A lot of them do a great job, but I don't always agree with some of the feedback that students receive from tutor.com. So if you have it, submit the document along with your submission, so that way I know to give you full credit. Let's just say you submitted it to tutor.com for content, or you submitted it for grammar and spelling. Whatever you submitted it for, I'm going to see that, and you need to mention what you submitted it for, and you'll automatically get full credit for that. But I'm still going to go through the document and then give you my feedback as well. Think of this. So I'm here just to make you, just to help in the course of your academic career, to help you be a better writer. I hope this helps everyone. Let's just keep having fun. You know, these papers are about fun. You guys know this information. Tell me what you know, explain what you know, and if you mention something that might leave a question in a reader's mind, explain it again. Also, one last thing. I try very hard not to let these videos last longer than 10 minutes. I think this one is just over 10 minutes now. Please, please, please utilize the APA references section within the course. It's all the way at the top. It's before Module 1. It's before the introductions. I'm going to actually make a tutorial, a brief tutorial, in the next announcement after this. So I'm going to upload this video to YouTube so y'all can view it quickly on YouTube. But I want you to look at all of the announcements. If I've sent you anything in an email, all the video references that you need, I want you to watch those. It's your job, guys. It is your responsibility to learn how to write a paper. I can teach you all I know. I can send you all the videos in the world, but if I provide you with these resources, I need you to really, really look at these resources and learn from them, utilize them. And then after you utilize the resources, then I want you to ask me the questions, okay? Because I'm going to automatically know. I know already by some of the questions I've received, someone has not looked at the information I've sent them. It's quite obvious. I can tell right away. I want you to utilize the references. I'm going to know you're working hard, and we're going to get through this together, okay? I hope everyone has a great evening, and there'll be a tutorial to follow. I'm going to use my MacBook. You will not see me in the picture. It'll just be my voice. Okay, everyone have a great evening and a rest of the week. Good night.